All right. I've been swamped recently, so I'm getting this up on a Wednesday instead of a Tuesday. But just thought, I'm finishing out the year. Obviously, if you have not seen my video last week, I'm finishing out the year with the recaps and the picks. There will be no picks this week as we have the Pro Bowl. So next Wednesday, a week from today, is when I will have my Super Bowl picks for the LA Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. Both teams, I think there's pros that both teams could win this. Obviously, like the Rams' defense is stacked, but I mean the Bengals, you just can't count them out. So, but we'll talk about that matchup. I'll talk about that next week and whatnot for when I do my picks for that game. But I just want to talk about these two games that we just had this past weekend with San Francisco and LA, and then technically Bengals Chiefs are first, but. We're going to start with San Francisco, LA. It was 17-7 at one point, and San Francisco fell apart. And then was it like a minute 52? I don't know. There was like not a lot of time left with the dropped interception on defense, which allowed the Rams to get points on the board. And then the Niners get the ball back. Jimmy G rolls out of the pocket, throws up a prayer to, I think it was either a running back or if it was just a receiver doing like a screen route, and just throws it up in the air, and the bounce off the receiver's hands, and I don't remember who picked it off. I'm blanking on that. Anyway, but the Rams picked it off. It's basically sealed the game. So, Niners just shot themselves in the foot, kind of like the Packers did the week before. At the end, you're up 10. You were up 10 points, 2 scores. And they blew it just like they blew it in the Super Bowl to the Chiefs and whatnot. So, both the Chiefs and the Niners were eliminated. So, that's crazy. But, LA, it started out kind of slow. Again, the 7 points. And then eventually they turned on the Jets. They, came back eventually. But, they kind of started out slow. But speaking of a team that started out slow, that was the Bengals. It was 21-7 at one point. 21-3. Excuse me. Sorry, not 7. It was 21-3. I think it was heading into half. I believe it was 21-3. It might have been 21-10 at half. I think it was 21-10 at half. But 21-3. Just the first quarter, the Bengals just didn't really do a lot. Couldn't get a lot going. And the first half, the Chiefs were on fire. And then they decide, you know what? It was like a little bubble screen behind the line of scrimmage. I don't know if it was exactly a bubble screen. I think it went to the running back behind the line of scrimmage. This was 3-4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, or was it maybe it was the Tyreek? It might have been the Tyreek catch, but it was behind the line of scrimmage, like 3-4 yards behind it. Basically, he got back up to the line of scrimmage, and they went into half 21-10. I believe it was halftime. It was 21-10 because I believe the Bengals scored right before. Maybe it was 21-3. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just they could have gone up. 28-10, 28-3, whatever. But, that's when the Chiefs basically killed themselves. Was that little play didn't work, and then the second half, the Chiefs just kind of fell flat. Mahomes, this game shouldn't have gone into OT, because Mahomes got the ball fumbled, and then he's lucky that his lineman was right there to jump on it. So he was very lucky this game even went into OT because the Bengals could have clearly won this in the fourth quarter. But just didn't look like Mahomes a lot in the second half. Not like he looked in the first half, obviously, of this game. But they basically went into half and they just kind of were like, we're done here. We quit. And the Bengals turned on the Jets in the second half of this game. Just again, it was 20. I think it was 21-10. I think at half. So coming back, 11 points, and then again the game goes I believe, was it 24-24 heading into OT, I believe is what it was. Yeah, because the Chiefs only scored 3 points. So it was 21-21 heading into OT. And then the Bengals defense did what the Bills defense could not. Got an interception. There was actually, it was either play before or 2 plays before. Obviously, there was a dropped interception by, I think it was Eli Apple, I believe, is who dropped the interception. And then 2 plays later, they get the ball. They're running it. Mixon's getting like 10 a pop. Like he was just running down the field that during the OT. So they might not be able to do that against the Rams, but just against that Chiefs defense, who was gassed by the time they got to OT. I mean, Mixon just they went walk down the field essentially, basically on Mixon's back. He didn't do everything, but I mean he did a lot. For the Bengals in that game. In OT, I should say. In OT, he did a lot for them. I was kind of thinking, they got inside the 10. I'm like, oh, maybe they're just going to go for a touchdown because, why not? You already walked down the field. Why settle for a field goal? But they did end up settling for a field goal. But, I mean, I thought they could have literally just said, we're going to hand the ball off to Mixon, and he's just going to run it in. Like, that's what I thought they were going to do. Because there was still... I believe there was 8:19 left on the clock when they kicked the field goal. So, I mean, there was still a ton of time where they could have just tried to get, either closer or, score a touchdown. But, again, they just went for the field goal, got the field goal, and they're in the... they're in the Super Bowl. Was it 31 years since their last appearance, I believe? Rams just had an appearance back in 2018. Obviously with Goff and a couple different players that didn't have Von Miller and whatnot, Ramsey, they didn't have the people they have now. But I think this is going to be a fun Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a really fun Super Bowl after all of the chaos, after just all these upsets like the Jags beating the Bills, the Jets beating the Titans. Obviously, the Titans had people injured and whatnot, but just seeing bad teams beat up good teams, seeing shootouts, seeing crazy, insane endings like the Raiders-Chargers that ended the year. Ravens, was that week 1 or week 2, whatever that game was, went into OT. That was a great game too. Like, there were so many. Somehow the Raiders were in a lot of good games this year. Despite all the trauma and all the crap they went through, they had played a lot of good games. They played their hearts out. They wanted to play for their interim head coach. But just a lot of crazy games. So if LA and the Bengals goes into like two OTs or 2 overtimes, that's gonna sum up this year. It's just been an insane year. No one saw the Bengals. No one. I don't even think Bengals fans saw the Bengals coming out of the AFC. I don't think anyone saw that. It's just insane. I'm sure people had the Rams coming out of the NFC and whatnot, with their stacked roster and everything. But I mean, they start out slow. I mean, the Bengals do too, but if the Bengals can get out to a fast start and that defense plays like they did in the second half of that Kansas City game, and you just make Mahomes look mortal, and you can. It's easy to make Stafford look mortal. Stafford can't run away like Mahomes can, and he's not. He's not lubed up, and he's just slippery to catch. Stafford's more of stays in the pocket and whatnot. But if you can shut down Stafford, make him turn into Stat Pafford. Yeah, I think I said that right. Get some interceptions from him and whatnot. Which, I mean, again, he's done a lot of this year. So if you can do that, Bengals have a shot. Again, that defense had to play how as good as they were this past week against the Chiefs. But I think it's gonna be really fun. I have not seen a lot of people saying a blowout or anything. I've seen tight games. I've seen people picking the Bengals, picking the Rams. So it's kind of like what I've seen, split. And I'm totally there because I could see either one of these franchises winning it. I think I'm rooting for Stafford. Von Miller to get a second one would be pretty cool. But seeing Joe Burrow be the first player to win Heisman, national championship, and a Super Bowl would be insane. You know, Jamar Chase in his rookie year, just all those, you know, Bengals players after everything they did been through, all the fans for the last 30 plus years. You know, it's just there's so much good here that there's no like evil, like there's no like bad guy in the Super Bowl. Like if it was Bengals Niners, or if it was, you know, Rams Chiefs, like a lot of people would be like, yeah, like, you know, Rams just please beat up on the Chiefs, or, you know, Bengals please beat up on the Niners. But you know, it's two teams where, you know, a lot of people love, support, they like, you know, players like Stafford. Again, you know, being an NFC North guy, watching him for 13 years, or 12 years, and then, you know, obviously his 13th year this year. It's been crazy, the disrespect. So, you know, I wanted him to win a ring, so this is his chance. But I mean, the Bengals, I mean, they're gonna be fun to watch. I'm excited for this game. This Super Bowl, I'm really excited for. After, you know, it's been a couple years that I've really been excited for this. I didn't even watch last year's Super Bowl. You know, Chiefs Niners was okay. Who was the year before that? That was Rams Patriots, I believe. The year before, no. Yeah, that was Rams Patriots. Except that was 2018 season. 2019, yeah, Rams. Sorry, Chiefs Niners 2020, Bucks Chiefs, and then LA Bengals 2021. Well, heading into 2020. But yeah, so you know, just both good teams, so I'm excited. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Again, next Wednesday will be the picks for this game. I'm gonna need a week still. I still don't know who I want, so I'm gonna need a week for this. So you know, again, I'm not gonna cover the Pro Bowl and whatnot. Again, I wanted this to come out yesterday, just been swamped recently, so it's coming out tonight, which I'm fine with. So like the video, share the video around, don't forget to subscribe. And I'm out of here. Peace.